Good morning, friends. Nova here with your Mindful Monday practice for the week. Thank you for joining me, whether it be Monday or some other time. We're doing these practices weekly to try to give a little sprinkle of mindful practices for us to do during this interesting time in our life. So why not if we have some more time, right? So mindfulness is about paying attention in the present moment on purpose and with compassion. Usually our practices are geared towards awareness. However, today we're going to try something a little bit different, more of a focused, attentive practice. So usually we come into a space to just be aware of what's going on around us. We're going to be a little bit more proactive in this practice today, with the goal being to bring ourselves to a greater focus and a more attentive space. I don't know about you, but after 2 months of a change in the way we're living our lives, my brain has gone to mush. I'm having a hard time focusing. So this is a practice that is geared towards that. So this can be referred to as a transcendental meditation, to be all fancy with words. But really all that means is where you come into a phrase, or for this practice it'll be a count that we repeat over and over again. So lots of times when we come into meditation for a transcendental meditation, it's a mantra or it's a phrase that we would repeat in our mind. But this practice will be counting. So we'll be counting our breath. We did our breath awareness practice where we really just kind of settled in and brought that awareness piece in. This one will be a counting breath. So there's a few ways to do this. I don't like when someone else counts for me, so I'm not going to count for you. However, if that is something that is beneficial to you and makes this practice work, then by all means, pause this video and you can find a count on YouTube if you want to search for a counting breath. I prefer to find my own count, so I'm going to offer that up to you as well. So really how it works, or how it works for me, is I like to count my breaths as I breathe in. Well, not count my breaths, count time as I breathe in. So as I breathe in, it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll breathe out for 1, 2, 3, and 4. I prefer to stay with the 4-4 count. However, my in count is usually faster than my out count. So I like to pair my breath up and my count up with my heartbeat. So my count as I breathe in is faster because our heart beats faster as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, our heartbeat slows down. It's very slight, but it does happen. As we breathe in, that's our body's way of gaining oxygen. If you'll notice when you have an situation where you may be startled, or maybe you think something's going to fall or break, you tend to do that, right? That's our quick draw in of oxygen. That's our body's way through our systems, through our stress process, through our sympathetic nervous system, to gather oxygen, survival, right? So our breath out is slower and it's calmer. That's our parasympathetic kicking in. That's our fight or flight response when we breathe in. When we breathe out, it's our calming response. So back to the breath count. My breath count is the same number in and out. However, the out count is going to be slower because my heart rate is slower. If it works for you to stay at that same pace and count a longer breath out, maybe a 4 count in and a 6 count out, you can do that as well. I hope I didn't confuse you with those explanations. However, it's important to me that these practices suit you and who you are. So I like to explain how I come into my process. So we'll be doing a breath count today, and it'll just be a couple minutes that we'll practice together, but feel free to do this for longer at your own time. This is also a great technique for helping to fall asleep. If you've ever tried to count sheep before, same idea, it's counting breath. So we can find ourselves in a comfortable seat, either with a chair, maybe sitting on the floor. Whatever position that you're in, I want you to find a nice tall spine where you give yourself some room to breathe. So we want to be able to breathe through the ribs, or through the lungs that are in our ribs. Can you tell it's Monday morning? I'm stumbling over my words today. Maybe I need to do a little breath count meditation. Relax your hands wherever they are. Feel free to find a steady gaze with your eyes or close your eyes. So begin with that breath awareness. Just a moment to settle into your seat. Relax into your seat. Relax your shoulders, your face, any place you may be holding on to tension in your body. And begin to find a rhythm for your breath. Let it be natural. And then begin to invite in that count. So in your own head, find your own natural rhythm for a count in and a count out. If your attention draws away from your count, just gently draw yourself back in and pick up where you left off. See if you can feel that difference in the in-breath and the out-breath. And if you like that idea of pairing with your heartbeat, if you're having a difficult time detecting it, bring your hands right to your heart space. And on each beat of the heart, invite your count. Whatever your pace is. Continue practicing for another minute. If your hands are over the heart, we can release them back down to a comfortable space. And take a moment here before jumping back into your life, just to check in and notice how you might feel, how you may have shifted the way you feel right now compared to when you first sat down for this practice. Perhaps you feel a bit more focused and attentive in thought, maybe a bit calmer, a bit less anxious. So I invite you to explore this counting breath practice. Find your own rhythm, find your own pace, and invite it in any time that you think of it. Again, this is something we can do anywhere. We can do this while we're driving. We can do this while we're cooking. We can do it while we're sitting down to dinner if we want to be calm and relaxed, focused. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you for joining me today.